Sex Talk.
Hi!
Hi!
I'm Jenoa.
And I'm Mo.
Welcome to the Sex Talk.
We're here having the sex talk.
Live from Brooklyn, New York! Woo! Today we're going to talk about a new word that's not even in the traditional dictionary yet. It is on Wikipedia and it's on Urban Dictionary. And the word is compersion. Or compersion. We don't know.
I was calling it compersion earlier.
We don't know.
So I'm not sure, but I think I've heard it say called compersion.
I think so too.
That's right.
But I don't know for sure either. So maybe it's still being decided.
Right.
So what is compersion? Compersion.
So my understanding of the word, and
Mm-hmm.
you probably know maybe something different or maybe the same thing, is compersion is when you can feel happy for your partner who is feeling happy.
Mm-hmm.
And their happiness is caused by something outside of the relationship.
Yeah.
And typically, I think that it means it's because they're with another person.
Mm-hmm. Sexually fulfilled with someone that's not you.
Sexually fulfilled.
Or like emotionally in some way fulfilled sometimes as well. You can have compersion. If your partner, let's just give an example, came home and said, oh my God, I just had the most amazing experience with this girl. It was incredible. And then you would be, you might have two choices. Let's say you have three choices. First choice is, no!
Fuck you!
This is terrible!
This is not allowed! I'm not okay with this!
Okay. Second choice would be compersion, which is, I am so happy for you.
It must be so exciting to have that feeling.
Yeah.
I love that feeling.
Right.
That's so cool that you're feeling that.
And I'm clear that it had nothing to do with me in our relationship. And
Yeah, and I'm okay with that.
And I'm really glad that
In
you
fact,
got to
I'm
experience
really
something so
excited for you.
great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yay!
And the reason I like number two, and I know what you're going to say number three is, but the reason I like number two is because you're treating your partner who is your best friend as your best friend.
Yeah.
Like when your best friend calls you up and says, oh my God, I just met someone and I think she's the person of my dreams, she's amazing, she makes me feel really good. You feel really good for your best friend. It's almost that same thing where you treat your best friend like your really true best friend and you don't get jealous.
You don't take it personally that they had a fun time with somebody else.
Yeah.
You're excited for them. And there's a certain level of boundary there that you want them to be happy in all areas of their lives, right?
Yeah.
So with compersion, the idea is that you would feel those things for someone who is your partner too.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the third option is, and it's very real in compersion that I don't hear people talking about so much, is even within the reality of feeling compersion, you can also feel jealous at the same time.
So three is basically all of the above.
Right.
Yeah. So you're
Both
feeling
together.
jealousy and compersion.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually like this too, because if you're feeling just A, which is just jealousy, you're more likely to backlash and treat your partner really poorly. But if you are feeling both and acknowledge that you're feeling both, like, oh,
Right, which is fair.
You know,
Cool.
God, there's a part of me that feels really jealous or feels really like threatened, insecure, but I'm also really happy for this person. You're more likely to see the light, so to speak.
Right, and here's the thing, that part of the ways to go through these situations is to be honest about them. And so hopefully within your relationship, you're going to have a space for you to hold all of those things. Hold your joy for them, hold your feeling insecure, and like have that conversation. And it's a conversation. It's just real life stuff. And these are the feelings that people have.
Yeah, but I feel like it's important to address some of the things that we might do if we get jealous. You know, we've talked about some of those things like the silent treatment or going out and doing something to make yourself feel better that will actually hurt your partner. Right.
Well, first of all, I think the very base of that is blaming the other person for your feelings.
Right.
The first of all, if you have jealousy, recognizing that, oh, this is my feeling that originates from me and not your fault. If they are, operating within the bounds of the relationship, there's no blame.
Right.
There's just, we had this agreement and you didn't break our agreement.
Right.
And
it just makes me feel this way.
I feel jealous. That's still your responsibility. So.
Well, it's still your feeling. Nobody can be responsible for your feeling.
Right.
Yes, they can change their behaviors so that you won't feel that way, but it won't change the fact that you feel that way. If they go outside of the relationship or if they, are, with someone else. And it could be anybody or it could be someone specific, but that feeling is yours.
Right. And I'm going to be honest. When you're triggered like that, because these feelings of jealousy can make you feel really unsafe and really like teed up and freaked out, it's easy to lash out when you feel triggered, because it's almost like you're in a haze and you're not thinking clearly, and so it's important to be calm and centered and really be in the moment that you're in, recognizing it, and not lash out.
Yeah. We did an episode on jealousy and non-monogamy, and in that episode we do talk about the fact that, and you should just click on it because the link is here, how you can feel jealous, but it's not necessarily always something that you need to bring up with your partner.
That's right.
That's right. And recognizing if the jealousy is this something that happens a lot in your relationship? If so, then yes, maybe it might be something that you discuss with your partner. What is happening over and over that is causing you to feel insecure in your relationship?
It might not be the right kind of relationship for you. I mean, maybe it's just not your cup of tea. Not everybody wants to experience this level of jealousy.
Right, and if you're constantly feeling jealous and banging your head up against the wall because it's not getting better, and you're trying to be open-minded, and everything that they do continues to feel like that for you, that's not a good place to be.
That might not be your best place.
Yeah.
And figuring out that would be your number one objective at that time. Like, is this really the best kind of relationship for me?
Yeah, because jealousy a lot of times in my experience happens when you're not getting something from the relationship. So in a compersion situation, your partner goes out, feels really happy, experiences this joy. There's often a side effect to that, to the relationship also, like experiencing joy, and a happy partner means a happy relationship, that whole concept. And so they come home and they're that much more present, that much more available. So then you might actually get that need met, or so you're already comfortable and stable in the relationship. And so that makes you feel that much more happy for your partner when they go outside and come back.
Right, so having a good, clear communication and a stable relationship to begin with would really help navigate these moments, because you have this base level of trust. You have the trust that person is not breaking agreements. You have the trust that they care about your feelings and aren't doing things purposely to hurt you. And you have the open lines of communication. I mean, for these types of relationships, those things are going to make it 1,000 times easier to navigate the feelings of jealousy.
Right. But I think the point is that jealousy does not necessarily mean that, we absolutely can't feel compersion, because the two can exist side by side.
And also, jealousy does not mean that you need to change your agreements. It doesn't mean that somebody did something wrong. It doesn't mean that somebody shouldn't be doing the things that they're doing. Because even in monogamous relationships, there's jealousy. I felt like pangs of jealousy because...
But jealousy doesn't go away just because you make your relationship monogamous. Monogamous is, it's like this fake sense of security.
I would say false.
False sense of security. Fake. False. But yeah. And just because you're in a monogamous relationship,
it doesn't
mean your partner's doesn't think about other people or doesn't stray emotionally. And not necessarily even physically, because people cheat. I mean, we know that people cheat. So it's important to, I think, if you or your partner have any ideas or harbor any fantasies about other people, have a conversation about it. It's the best place to start.
Yeah, I think that's a great place to start, which is like, let's be honest, who are you really attracted to?
Yeah.
And it might be good just to get real about that. It might be good to get real that, your partner actually didn't stop being a sexual being because you guys got together.
Right. Or because you've been together 20 years and you don't have sex anymore. Guess what? There's a huge chance that your partner is still very sexual.
Yeah.
And it, going outside of the relationship might help awaken that, and it could potentially liven your relationship up.
Yeah, we're gonna do another episode about what are we gonna call it? Relationships with agreements, and where's some options for long-term relationships where the sex has died, where you can still be really consider yourself monogamous, but maybe have a little tweak.
Yeah. In your relationship.
Yeah.
Your relationship, your rules.
Yeah, you get to make up the rules. So click on a few other episodes and you'll find it down in there somewhere.
Yeah.
But
we're also going to do another episode, how to get started if you really want to have a non-monogamous relationship and you've been in a monogamous relationship for a long time and you have no idea how to get started. We're going to help you.
I love that.
Coming up next.
Yeah, look around, click around, enjoy everything. Leave comments, talk to us. We'd love to hear from you. And I think that was the Sex Talk.
Sex Talk.